What if a single word, just one word, uttered in a moment of pure terror, had the power to completely rewrite your destiny? We're going to dive into a powerful story from the ancient Vedic texts that asks that very question. And, the answer might just surprise you.
So, our story is all about a man who lived a long, long life, and a deeply sinful one at that. But what happens at the very end, right at the moment of his death, is something nobody saw coming. A twist that kind of challenges everything we think we know about justice and mercy.
All right, so let's meet the main character of our story, a man named Ajamila. His life was, well, really a tale of two completely different halves. It's a journey from being the very picture of virtue to the absolute definition of degradation.
I mean, just look at this contrast. In his youth, Ajamila was a model Brahmin, super well-behaved, learned, gentle, but then he fell, and he fell hard. He abandoned his family, his principles, he lived with a prostitute, blew his entire inheritance, and even resorted to theft and cheating just to keep up this new life. A complete 180.
So you have to wonder, right? What could cause such a massive fall from grace? The scriptures point to one single moment. He was coming back from the forest, and he saw a drunkard shamelessly embracing a prostitute. And even with all his training and knowledge, that one sight, it just ignited a lust inside him that he couldn't control. And that sent him spiraling down a path of total ruin.
So decades fly by, and now we come to the very end of Ajamila's long and, let's face it, very complicated life. And right there on his deathbed, a huge confrontation is about to go down.
Picture this. Ajamila is 88 years old. He's lying on his deathbed, and his long, sinful life is probably flashing before his eyes. And he's just about to find out he's not alone. Suddenly, these three terrifying figures just appear before him. They've got cruel faces, twisted features, their hair is standing on end, and in their hands, they're holding ropes and clubs. These are the Jamadutas, the messengers of cosmic justice, and they are here to drag his soul away. In this moment of just absolute terror, his mind doesn't go to some last-minute prayer or repentance. Nope, it snaps to the one person in the world he's most attached to, his youngest child. And he screams out his son's name, Narayan. Now this right here, this is the crucial point of the whole story. He wasn't calling out to God, he was calling for his kid, who just happened to share a name with the Supreme Lord. And that one, single, unintentional word changes absolutely everything. The moment he says that name, four beautiful, serene beings just appear out of nowhere. On one side, you've got the fearsome Jamadutas. On the other, these radiant Vishnudutas, messengers of mercy, dressed in yellow silk with eyes like lotus petals. The contrast is just, it's night and day. It's so stark that even the Jamadutas are completely stunned. And what happens next isn't a battle of weapons, but a battle of words. A really profound cosmic debate between these two forces kicks off, right there at Ajamila's deathbed. They're not just fighting over his soul, they're actually debating the very nature of law, sin, and redemption itself.
The Vishnudutas stop everything right in its tracks. They don't use force. Instead, they challenge the Jamadutas on a point of law. They basically ask them to define the very principles of dharma, or religious duty, that they claim they're there to enforce.
The Jamadutas, they answer pretty confidently. They say, look, dharma is what's laid out in the Vedas, and the Vedas are the direct words of the Supreme Lord, Narayan. Anything that goes against that, well, that's irreligion or adharma. To them, the case seems totally open and shut. And to prove their point, the Jamadutas list off all these cosmic witnesses. They argue that we're never really alone, The sun, the moon, the sky, the land itself, all of it sees everything we do. And, according to them, all these witnesses confirm that Ajamila lived a deeply sinful life. So, by the laws of the Vedas, he's got to be punished. So the Jamaduta's case, it seems totally airtight. But the Vishnudutas have a counter-argument, one that completely overrides all the witnesses and every single sin Ajamila ever committed. And it all comes down to the incredible, unbelievable power of that one name he shouted. This, right here, is the heart of the whole thing. The Vishnudutas explain that the holy name works just like fire. Think about it. If you put your hand in a fire, it doesn't matter if you do it on purpose or by accident, consciously or unconsciously, it's gonna burn you. In the same way, the holy name purifies all sinful reactions no matter what the chanter's intention was.
And there are actually 2 levels to this, which is fascinating. Ajamala's cry was unintentional chanting, what's called namabash. Now, that alone is powerful enough to wipe out the reactions of millions of lifetimes of sin. But the next level, intentional chanting, or shuddhanam, that goes even further. It actually awakens a person's pure, dormant love for God.
And the power of the name is it's astonishingly universal. The Vishnu Dutas explain that even if you chant it indirectly, like Ajamala calling his son, or if you do it jokingly, or for musical entertainment, or even just neglectfully, it still purifies the chanter. The power is literally inherent in the sound itself.
Okay, so why is this ancient story so important for us? Because it perfectly illustrates the #1 spiritual practice recommended for the times that we're living in right now.
So, according to the Vedic timeline, humanity goes through different ages, or yugas, and each one has its own recommended spiritual practice. In past ages, it was all about deep meditation or these massive, elaborate fire sacrifices. But for our current age, the Kali Yuga, which is described as being super stressful and short-lived, the most effective and accessible path is chanting the holy names. So what happened to Ajamila? Well, the Jamadutas, their whole understanding of Dharma just completely flipped upside down, went back to their master. Ajamila, who saw this entire cosmic debate, was a changed man. He woke up filled with this profound regret, immediately left his family, traveled to the holy city of Haridwar, and just dedicated the rest of his days to pure devotion. And when his time finally came, the radiant Vishnu Dutas returned, and he achieved complete liberation.
And so we're left with this really powerful thought. The story of Ajamila shows the incredible mercy that's available through the holy name, even when it's just called out by accident. Which, it leads to the real question. If a single unintentional cry can erase an entire lifetime of sin, what is the transformative potential of a name chanted with full awareness, with real intention, and with love? Thanks for tuning into this one.